Usually it's a friend's request, you know. But I guess because I'm busy, maybe it doesn't like that. I don't know, whatever. But anyways, more queens coming out. A little bit of extra defense there. Roach Warren going up right by that spine crawler. Gonna just pinch off a little bit of this so that it's harder for Hellions to get through there. Always gonna be a good call, but you do have to worry about tanks and whatnot blowing it down and killing it off. There goes a Baneling Nest and an Evolution Chamber just to help out with that. Banshee is on the way, gonna be possibly taking out some of these drones at the natural before continuing on to the main, maybe just going straight for the main, but there are a lot of Overlords kind of just sitting around back here. A couple of Zerglings even, just to make sure there's no Reaper that enters from that location. Looks like one or two drones have been killed off. It looks like a couple of Queens already taken the Banshee below half health. And he's going to be continuing on to the main here, but there is that Queen running around. I don't believe it's going to really be able to do much. There is no Cloak on the way. Of course, for Zerg, you know, there's always a possibility that Cloak is going to be completed, and then you're going to have to deal with that. But you know, it does have the layer pretty much finishing now, so he's going to be just fine. Having a really good timing for that. You know, pretty much at like 850, I guess you want to pretty much have it almost done. So you can get an Overseer if necessary, and then you don't have to really worry about too many Spore Crawlers. You know, personally, I like to keep lower tech a little bit longer. You know, that is probably one of my bigger faults. You know, stay on high tech a little bit longer, pump out some extra drones, delay the gas a little bit for those extra drones, and get up some spine or some Spore Crawlers for those Banelings, or for the Banelings, for the Banshees. You know, they both start with a B. Give me a break, right? So, anyways, Banshee now coming in to attack that Queen. Looks like he's attacking the one with the energy, so I don't know. There's a lot of Queens kind of roaming around. There's a lot that's, I mean, there's not a lot that Valkyrie can do about that. But he does have this SV extra repairing these Banshees. Now that's something I rarely see. Usually the Banshees are just left to die, or they float off to the side and try to attack later with like one hit, and that's it. You know, it's like, come on. I do really like this play quite a bit from Terran. Meanwhile, he did set up that expansion at his natural. He does have that tank with siege mode, actually 3 tanks and a bunch of Marines. Let's see, the Marines do not have any upgrades. No combat shield, no stim. But well, let's see. I don't know, just sitting back behind that bunker. Feeling pretty safe. Zerg doesn't really have too much. Zerg looking to take out those rocks for that third. Expand the creep all around with that stick. And, well, let's look at the unit counting tab. We do have 43 drones or 43 SCVs, excuse me, to 53 drones. Sorry, coffee's just so good. And, well, it looks like Roach speed as well as Zergling attack speed, or attack, and Mutas attack going up. Now, preferably, I do get the armor for the Mutas, just because the Mutas can take a lot of extra hits from Marines, but then you do have to still worry about Thors, and actually it does help quite a little bit against Thors. But I mean, the attack does help quite a bit, you know, 1 extra damage plus the bounce. Now, in case you don't know, the bounce does 33% of the last hit, so the first hit is 9, since Muta does 9 damage. The second hit is 3, and then the last hit is only 1. With an upgrade, it is not, I mean, not all 3 of those get +1. The first attack gets +1, the second one gets like plus 0.3, and the last one gets plus 0.1. Or, wait, no. Actually, I don't think that's right, but it's somewhat like that. You know, it's not as much as you might think, but it does help out more than you might think also. So, I mean, it is kind of, I don't know, a tricky thing to really explain. Anyways, it looks like a lot of Marines at various positions taking out some Mutas, and they're going to try to find a window of opportunity here, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. But it looks like Zerg is moving out with a ton of Zerglings. He does have the Baneling upgrades, or I mean the Baneling, the Baneling Nest. It looks like he already got the speed for it, so if he wanted to morph some Banelings, he definitely could. And there really just isn't a lot of breathing room for Terran. You know, where's he going to go? He can run past these supply depots, but then of course supply depots could go down. His tanks could be in siege mode right now, but looks like they're just going to chill. Nope, they're going to go for the attack. It looks like all these Zerglings just finished morphing those Banelings, and Terran is in a huge load of trouble right here. The Marines definitely not in the position you want, and all those guys going right for, ooh, lots of dead Marines right there, but it looks like the Mutas Where are the mules? Nope, they're attacking the base back here, killing off some supply depots in the meantime. It looks like Zerg just running around chasing after those Marines. Those Hellions come to their rescue, but it looks like those Hellions killed off as well. Actually, that probably was a little bit of a better trade than losing all those Marines. Just because each Hellion is 2 Marines, so that'd be a total of 4 Marines. This is a lot more than 4 Marines. So anyways, Terran's still on the advance here. He does have some creeps tumors he could kill off if he scanned, but looks like he's just going to go right for it. But it looks like the Banelings and Zerglings are all over that. Oh man, that's a lot of dead guys right there. These tanks are now in a lot of trouble. All the tanks go down. Looks like one tank is left, going to be killed off as well, trying to return home. And Terran does not have a lot left. Now, it is always going to be a good idea to counterattack, but I mean, there are certain situations where it's kind of like, can I really afford to? Am I just going to lose all the units because Zerg just overproduced? In some situations, you might want to just sit back at your base and defend it, and get up some tech, get up whatever you need. Because Zerg, I feel, works really well in smaller numbers. You can, first of all, reproduce them a lot faster. And second of all, since a lot of them are melee, like Zerglings, you can, with the ball of ranged units, you can do a lot more than with individual ranged units, right? I mean, there's a certain point where, like, you need a certain amount, otherwise the Zerglings won't, the Zerglings will do too much damage. So, anyways, Banelings now being morphed. They do have the +1 upgrade. Let's see, 39 damage to light, that's quite a lot. It's still 2 hits for a Marine, but it's still something. If Terran gets some armor and whatnot, it does help him out with that. And, well, it looks like he's setting up another command center. Regardless of how many units he has, he is setting up another command center. And that's always going to be a good call because you definitely need that for the late game at this point. It looks like Terran, wow, actually denying that command, or that hatchery there. I definitely thought, I don't know, Zerg did try to come to the rescue, but it looks like that hatchery just killed off. I believe it probably was cancelled. I have no actual confirmation of that, but, well, just going to sit up tight on the high ground and chill out. Well, tanks just do so much damage to rocks. 25 damage with only 1 weapon speed, that's like ridiculously fast. So much damage. And these Hellions just trying to gain control of the middle of the grounds here. Looks like they wanted to wedge themselves in there, make sure that Zerglings were not going to come and kill them. Now it's taking the high ground. Nope, taking it away from Zerg anyway. I never even noticed that waterfall. Whoa, I definitely missed a little bit. A couple of guys from that drop killed off by those Banelings. And now that Medevac's just kind of chilling out. And, well, Chance here definitely has a ton of money. Let's look at the drone production. 76 drones to 50 SCVs. Ooh, some more guys killed here in the middle. While I was checking that, my bad. But looks like there's, what, 5, 6 tanks here, sieging up in the middle. And, well, lots of meters out here, he doesn't really have too many Marines. And those Marines are definitely out of position. Losing those 2 tanks for nothing. Huge blunder by Terran. Positioning for Terran is just so darn important. You gotta know, where to keep your stuff. Do you spread them out and then, risk the danger of Mulists picking them off, or do you keep them together and risk the danger of them all exploding the Banelings or whatnot? They're definitely going to be able to do a lot more against ground units spread out, but when they're not spread out, oh, okay, there's another attack here. Looks like the tank's getting cleaned up. Lots of roaches here, lots of Banelings, and lots of Mulists. These Marines running for their lives. Back to command. I don't think command's going to take them though. So these guys are deadbeats now. They failed their mission, and well, apparently that one guy is going to find some sanctuary. But Zerg's just running around rampant now. He definitely has some good map controlling. And meanwhile, there's another drop in the natural here, or in the 4th here. And, well, looks like it was cleaned up. Terran just kind of, I don't know, kind of busy with a lot of stuff. And it looks like Chance is going to be able to clean up this expansion. Well, there's a lot of SCVs there to repair. And with the Terran army not too far behind, I do like the choice of running away and retreating for now. So that would have been a big struggle to take that out, and he might have only gotten so far. So anyways, lots of banelings being morphed here. And looks like, okay, he does have some Zerglings. I was going to say, banelings without Zerglings are not very good. They just die before they do anything. And, well, okay, here they all come in. And there's just a lot of roaches and things and whatnot. Coming in from both angles, that was definitely not a good choice for Terran to get out there. You know, he wanted to come out here and cut off those roaches and whatnot. But with all those banelings and Zerglings, you know, able to reinforce that, you know, that was just not the best idea. It looks like, okay, the bunker goes down. This reactor's about to go down. The Marine's about to pop out. There he is. He's just going to run alongside that. And Zerg just taking a very convincing play there. Or convincing win there. Very, very well played by VP Chance. Which brings our score to 3-2 for VP against EP. And, well, we'll see if this follows the same trend as the first few games. I mean, so far it's been VP taking a win, and EP coming back, and then VP taking another win, and then EP coming back. And now VP took another game, so we'll see if EP is able to take that back or not. That's the real question here. Alright, so apparently Fingo is the last player for EP. Unless they sub him. They can sub him for someone else. Looks like Buttery Llama says Fingo is going to be playing. Buttery Llama gave up his spot for our last player. Shoot, Valkyrie. That's right, Valkyrie. EP Valkyrie. Oh, I don't know how I forget these things. It's like right there. I could have just checked it, but like I don't see it. I don't know. I definitely should just be more vigilant. I don't know. It's very easy to get like tunnel vision when you're casting. It's like you can talk about this and this and this, but it's like you're so focused on what you're talking about that you just don't remember, you know, afterwards to check those things. I think that's my biggest mistake right now. So it looks like Crossfire, Shattered Temple, Typhon Peaks, Crevasse, and Terminus are left. Okay, they veto Crossfire, so we'll see what Fingo picks. Fingo does play Protoss. Let's see what he does. See what he does. Oh, I just realized I totally forgot to put up the overlays so well. It's kind of hard doing all this like solo, you know, like when casters do it professionally, it's like they got someone to control the screen and move around for them while they cast. You know, they usually have a co-caster, and then they usually have someone that does the overlays and whatnot. So I mean, it's like, you know, you got all this like support, whereas I'm doing it alone, you know. Whereas I have the tools to do it alone, but I just, you know, it's hard to think about all the different things I need to do sometimes. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents anyway. Looks like Fingo needs a moment, and he'll be with us to play in just a minute. I wish there was a way to broadcast to like all your friends, even if they weren't real ID friends. Because I don't know, there's just a lot of people that like don't know that I've been casting. That I'd have to like talk to each one individually to tell them. But I guess it's probably better this way. So I don't know if you guys are tuning in on Team Liquid or on Regame.tv or Justin TV. But those are the 3 places I stream, and you know it's live on each of those sites. Regame does a nice forwarding stream service where they'll let you stream to other streaming services at the same time, like Justin TV. So I should be on Justin TV right now as well, but I'm not sure if it's, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I don't know if it's really working all that well. That's why I give the Regame link